Sally Corporation es la empresa creativa detrás de Justice League Battle for Metropolis, ya que ellos organizan y coordinan a todas las compañías involucradas en la creación de esta atracción, desde el diseño inicial, el guión, la producción, la escenografía, los animatrónicos, la iluminación, los sistemas del juego, los componentes interactivos y la instalación. Esta compañía estadounidense, creada en 1977 y ubicada en Jacksonville, Florida, se ha especializado en construir dark rides o atracciones de interiores, como Scooby-Doo's Haunted Mansion, y en hacer animatrónicos extremadamente realistas como si tendrá Justice League. John Wood, director general de Sally Corporation, habló con The Coaster Zone sobre la nueva atracción que están haciendo para Six Flags México, anticipando que esta ofrecerá mucha diversión a los visitantes y seguramente será una de las favoritas de los mexicanos. ¿Qué experiencia vivirán los visitantes en Justice League Battle for Metropolis?
First, it's an adventure that you were brought into the Hall of Justice to help the Justice League, who is Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and Cyborg, Green Lantern, and Flash. They have been attacked, along with the rest of Metropolis, by the Joker and Lex Luthor, and some of them are actually imprisoned. So we've got to go help defeat the Joker and free the League, and we do that by way of an interactive gameplay. In other words, we're equipped with a vehicle that allows us to travel through the streets of Metropolis seeking Joker and his minions and the laughing gas that he is putting out around the city. And so we're blasting them away, getting points, freeing the League, trying to save the city. And it's done through a 3D mixed media, meaning that you'll be wearing glasses. There are a number of 3D screens that we encounter, and that's where most of the gameplay takes place.
¿Estamos hablando de una nueva generación de atracciones?
It is next generation. Universal led the way in many ways with a simulation-based ride experience when they developed Spider-Man, and we have taken it to another level by making it an interactive game. We use some of the similar entertainment techniques of the motion base in front of the video, but in addition to that, we have more tangible targeting and animatronics and special effects like live fire that really brings the experience to an immersive level, a level that you feel like you're right in the middle of it.
¿Podemos pensar que ese tipo de atracciones es el futuro de los parques de diversiones?
I think it's a viable attraction for all. This type of attraction is viable for all that can afford it. It's not an inexpensive attraction, but it's not as expensive as some of the bigger roller coasters. It's still a pretty significant investment on the part of the park. And yeah, I think it's a broad base popular attraction. In other words, children like it, and grandparents like it, and everyone in between. So the whole family can enjoy the experience, really appreciate the quality of the experience as well. I do not think that it'll replace roller coasters. I do not think it'll replace carousels or Ferris wheels. The reality is most parks, all parks, really depend on a mixture of entertainment offerings. And this is one that people enjoy. Now, it is an extraordinary dark ride, meaning that it does take the themed ride experience to a new level.
¿Habrá alguna diferencia entre la atracción de Six Flags México y las atracciones de Six Flags Over Texas y Six Flags San Luis?
There will be some differences. We're working on a few improvements and modifications. And you're right, Rodrigo. We had some issues stabilizing the communication between our control system and the ride vehicle. And we've been working on that throughout the summer. We think we've got it resolved. But it was an embarrassment. I hate to use that word, but it was. We want to have a ride of this quality be as open as possible and operating without failure. And yet there were definitely some new technologies that needed to be adjusted in order to make it operate operate consistently.
La atracción de Six Flags Over Texas se construyó en un teatro que ya existía, y la atracción de Six Flags St. Louis ocupa el espacio de lo que era la atracción de Scooby-Doo. En México se está construyendo desde cero en un terreno en el que no había nada. ¿Significa esto una ventaja?
It's a much better situation, Rodrigo, because you just don't know what you're going to encounter in a building redevelopment, and I think Six Flags encountered a lot of changes that they didn't anticipate in their budgeting, and of course we didn't, because the only change that we had to deal with was changes in schedule when they encountered construction issues. But this allows Six Flags and us to be more consistent in our costs, to be more consistent in the quality of the infrastructure, meaning we had issues with both Texas and St. Louis with the floor, for instance, and the fact that it wasn't as level as it needed to be. And we had issues with roofs and air conditioning that, with a new unit, you usually don't have that problem. But being able to reutilize an existing facility is a good thing if you can do it and maintain your budgets. So we still would do that if need be. If there's a building out there that we need to convert, it is something that we like better if we can go into new construction instead of adapting to old construction.
Una de las fortalezas de Sally Corporation es que realiza unos animatrónicos de gran calidad con un realismo sorprendente, lo que se ha vuelto su sello como compañía. De hecho, puede ser cualquier tipo de personajes, animales o humanos. En el caso de Justice League, la atracción tendrá dos, Cyborg y The Joker. ¿Pero son los animatrónicos la parte más costosa de la atracción?
No, they're not. Now, the ride system is by far the most expensive part of the ride. Every scene is probably equal in value and cost, whether it's a scene that has an animatronic or whether it's a scene that's a 3D projector. Those 3D projectors are high quality, HD, rugged commercial projection systems with 3D, and they're not inexpensive either. So the show cost, which is kind of what you're talking about with the animatronics, is spread pretty equally throughout the ride. But none of it's inexpensive. It's definitely not cheap. I think you can feel the quality when you go through it as something that it's better than most attractions of that type.
¿Cuántas personas están involucradas en la creación de Justice League Battle for Metropolis?
I think we'd approach 100. Our company, we have 40 people that, all played a role, but we have quite a few other roles, maybe even as many as 200. Our scenic contractor has quite a few people involved. The people who helped us with the computer graphics, not only in California but also in India, they were involved, and the gaming people out of Belgium. I don't know how many were involved in, but it's a collaborative effort, no question about it, and a complicated one.
Una vez ya terminada la construcción del edificio, ¿cuánto tiempo se necesita para la instalación de todo el juego?
We need 4 months. A lot involved, and if you have to work around the construction that's going on, it's not efficient either. So, we'll be working a couple of shifts, day and night, in order to try to coordinate the various different services and stick to our schedule.